Hi, iPod Nano versus Hiby R4. I want to talk about the pros and cons of using either device. So let's start with the pros of the iPod. The obvious one being it is very small, more portable, lightweight. Also, just look at that blue metal. Ah, so cool. This one has a camera. This is the 5th gen, I believe. Oh, listen to that. Do you hear that? You can turn that off if you don't want it. Another pro is obviously just the nostalgia factor. The scroll wheel is way more responsive than the touchscreen on the Hiby R4. It was almost like haptic feedback before haptic feedback. There's no vibration, but just to make it feel a little bit more tactile when you're scrolling through things, they added that sound, which you can turn off. All right, another pro is the user interface. It becomes really second nature to just really quickly go through and find what you need on the iPod. To this day, believe it or not, you can actually sync current podcasts onto an iPod. I did it a few months back on an iPod Shuffle. Andrew Huberman podcast right on here. It was so weird, but it's doable. iTunes may no longer be around, on the Mac at least, like if all your stuff is up to date, maybe you can still download it, but directly in Finder, you can still sync this. Okay, another pro, the Hiby has this as well, but you can lock the buttons like so, and then you can chuck it in your pocket or whatever, which is really nice. Just like that. It gets loud enough to drive any IEM or headphone, at least from a SPL or purely loud enough volume standpoint. Probably won't get it loud enough for like a Dan Clark E3, for example, something that's like kind of picky with what drives it, but don't worry about that. Most things are going to be just fine. I think I've already said this, but what I like is that it's actually portable. It weighs nothing at all pretty much. And yeah, you can like actually put it in a pocket. There's like weird accessories back in the day where you can like strap it to your arm, like, you know, pre-Apple Watch days. If you really wanted to do something like that, if you were biking maybe. So now for the cons of the iPod. I would say one of the biggest ones is limited storage space. You're limited to whatever model you get. I don't even know what this has. I think it's like 8 gigs or 16. No dedicated volume buttons. Okay, so on the Hiby, not only do you have, we'll get into this more later, but dedicated skip, play, pause, and, you know, like turn the screen on buttons, but you also have dedicated volume buttons. This is my biggest gripe with this guy. So say a new song comes on and it's way louder than the last song. The only way you can adjust it is here in the now playing volume, now playing menu. You see that? You got to use the scroll wheel. So if you're on the hunt for a new song, next song starts playing, you got to either wait or click on this real quickly if it's like way too loud, right? Like, let's just go to here. Oh, also, speaker. This thing has a speaker on it. Or you got to press and hold, wabam, go down to now playing, and really quickly as fast as you can turn it down or get to the right volume. Okay, the other really big thing is it's old. And so the DAC, or the digital analog converter in here, is not as good as modern devices. Now, this matters more or less depending on what headphones or IEM you are using. So for example, I just bought the Meze 109 Pros, and honestly, I could not hear a difference between the two. They're just not sensitive enough. They're not clear enough. They're a bit muffled. A bit warm sounding. And so it really didn't matter, which is kind of cool because then I can like happily as an audiophile use this with certain headphones. However, on IEMs, especially higher end ones, like I have the Moondrop Variations, for example, it is very noticeable that you're getting worse sound quality on here than the Hiby R4. Now, if you're someone who thinks DACs don't matter that much, you would be right, but with tech this old, it is like a pretty obvious difference depending on the in-earbud, IEM, headphone, what have you. So the biggest sound difference I was hearing between the two is basically a little bit of clarity, not really, but mostly punch and transient response. So what I mean is, say you have a really punchy, slappy, slammy kick drum in the song you're listening to on the iPod, it just sounds a little bit more lossy, not quite as lossless, and it just sounds a bit more compressed and a little bit more flubbery, right? So like on here, on the iPod, it'd be like if the kick was supposed to sound like kick, it would be like hue. And that's extremely over exaggerating it. Just think that, but like microscopically different amounts. Does that make sense? So instead of a boom, it's like a boom. Like it's just missing a little something. Whereas not the case on the HiBy R4. This sounds just fine. Just sounds like any modern good digital device, basically. Another con is obviously it's not like in some ways this is basically like a smartphone, right? This is limited in what it can do, which to me is a pro and a con, because it's like you can like technically listen to the radio on this. It has the video camera, which is actually kind of cool. Like, check it out. It's actually not as bad as you'd think. Look at that. But that's not really what you're going to be using it for, right? There's no Wi-Fi, there's no Bluetooth. And like I said, you can watch videos, photos. There's even games on here. Go to extras. Oh yeah, alarms, clocks, contacts. Ooh, yeah, we're going to use that. Notes. What the heck, really? Imagine actually taking the time to like put notes on this and then look at them later. It kind of ruins the point, because like notes is like in a spur of the moment kind of thing, right? Anyways, whatever. It's there if you want it. But, ooh, stopwatch. Voice memos, that you could actually use. Games, I haven't actually messed with these since I got this. There's like more you can download. I wonder if you can still download them. This used to be my jam on the bus to school when I was a kid. It's like a 3D brick breaker. I can't even see what I'm doing. Oh, there it is. Ooh. Okay, real quick. This was actually really cool. So with this one, you use the accelerometer to get this metal ball through the maze. Kind of like those toys that they used to sell at dollar stores or in like Walmart and stuff. Oh, there's the ball. I see it now. This was so cool back in the day that you could just like move your thing around. Pro and con, the fact that like you're most likely going to use this as a distraction-free way to listen to music. It has standard 3.5 millimeter auxiliary cable input or output jack, I should say. And that's the only way you're getting sound through it. The reason why that's the con is just some people care about having the 4.4 balanced. Like a lot of audiophiles like using balanced connections. Okay, another con. Look at that Chungus port. Okay? No USB-C here. Speaking of charging, battery life, obviously a con. It's a really old device, so battery life will vary depending on which one you get. I can't really say, oh, you can expect this many hours if you buy an iPod, because for some people, you got to just like leave them plugged in. For mine, I bought this off of a lady about a year ago, and the battery works just fantastically. Probably drains faster than the Hiby. I'll talk about Hiby battery life in the Hiby section. So if you are a modern iPod fan, you probably know about the third-party software you can run, Rockbox, where it adds functionality. You can reskin it, so you can make it look however you want instead of using the Apple user interface. The biggest thing, in my opinion, is that you can use EQ. There is EQ on this, but it's only preset ones. And they don't really work very well with certain things. But you can go into here, go to EQ, give it a quick bass boost if you need. I wish you could make your own. But yeah, no Rockbox on this version of the iPod Nano. Okay, so moving on to the HiBy R4. Ooh, look at this box. Huh? Oh yeah. Easy to access the packaging if you need. Not the biggest deal, but I really like that. I hate it when you get a new product and like as soon as you touch the box, it's already like ripping apart, especially if you need to return it. I don't think you'll need to return this if you decide to buy one, but like for example, a pair of headphones I recently bought, the packaging was so flimsy that like, I don't even know if I can return them. I don't even like the headphone. So now I'm like, Oh yeah, included USB cable. USB-C. What's in here, you ask? A strap-on. Look at that. This is very unique. But basically, you see this here? You can put it through there. I'm not going to do that. I have muscle issues. That's going to take me forever, especially when filming this video. It's not that bad. I've done it before. You can do it. But it's kind of cool. You can put a strap on. It comes with a pre-installed screen protector on there. I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah, a nice thick one too, which is really cool. So it comes with a screen protector already on it, and it comes with a case. I found it. So this is the case. It's actually really nice. It's a nice like rubber. And what I like about it is it's really easy to, there we go. Yes. That would be way easier if I wasn't doing this like in front of a camera, like, ooh. Yeah, and honestly, it feels great. And the buttons still feel responsive and stuff. Yeah, I kind of just leave it off for home and then throw it on if I actually were to like go on a road trip or something like that. I don't like using it with the case because it's built so well, and it's all made out of metal. It's got this nice glass on the back, and sure, the case protects this, but it just feels like this like futuristic cassette player. Like if cassette players came out in Cyberpunk or in like the future, this is what it would be like. But look at this thing. It's so cool. It's got lights on the back. It's got lights on the front. You can lock the buttons. That way, if you're putting it in your pocket or you actually are using it portably, you don't just constantly hit the buttons. Ooh, yes. Okay, another big thing. SD card storage up to 2 terabytes, I believe. Can play DSD or high-res local PSEM files, plus can stream music because it has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Another pro, separate volume buttons. Oh my goodness, this is so nice. And one thing I like is there's kind of like 2 ways to do the volume. So one is to just, because you can run this as a DAC, that's why it's locked. But normally, so you press this, and then you can like real quickly scroll up and down to get to the volume you want. I love this. I love this. Or if you want, you can just press the volume up and down buttons. And if you want, if the screen popping up annoys you, you can even turn that off. The customizability on this thing is really cool. EQ, built-in EQ. Oh yeah, check it out real quick. Go here, audio settings, parametric EQ, bam. This is huge for me personally in IEMs. You see this little notch I've got here? Depending on what IEM I'm using, sometimes headphones, but usually IEMs, there is way too much ear gain somewhere in this region. So I just kind of like, it'll be plus or minus like a few kilohertz, and I just kind of dip it down, and oh my goodness, sounds so much better. Okay, it has modern DAC chips, right? Instead of the old, has 4 ESS Sabre ES9018C2M chips in here. DSD. Right, more supported audio file formats. That's something I may have forgot to mention with this. There's limited file formats you can run on this, especially because it doesn't have Rockbox. I believe if you get an iPod that can run a Rockbox, you can use more file formats. But this guy here can run DSD 256, PCM up to 768 kilohertz at 32-bit. My goodness, I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't think it is a thing. I've been producing music for 15 years. The highest I've seen digital audio workstations even export at is like 192 kilohertz, 192,000 kilohertz. You know, yeah. Can also do MQA, but nobody cares about that, right? It also says Hiby OS, Bit Perfect Audio OS Wide. I think that's when you turn it. I'll show you what I mean. Working mode, here we go. So you can go pure audio mode, and then it gets rid of all the gross Android downsampling of your audio. Can even use it as a DAC. Can be a desktop DAC if you want it even. Yeah, so this thing is just feature packed. Class A amplification. I don't know much about the different classes of amplification, but if that matters to you, Class A here. And again, 4.4 millimeter and the standard 3.5 jacks. Send and receive Bluetooth audio. I tried this back when this first launched. It did not work for me. They have updated this a bunch since. Can't be bothered to try it. So if that's a thing that matters to you, look into it. But yeah, when I first got this, I was like, oh, this is so cool. Because then what I can do is I can receive Bluetooth audio from my TV and then use like my IEMs and stuff way over on my couch. And then from there, you know, EQ them and stuff. Did not work. But I also have a Samsung TV, and Samsung is gross. So it could have been Samsung's fault as well. Oh yeah, so this light on here actually has a function. So if you're charging, it'll turn red to let you know you're charging. But the main use is to let you know which current audio resolution is playing, which it'll also play at the top here. Like, you know, where the white text is there. But like, say if I go and I play this song, it says at the top 44, but the yellow also indicates 44.1 kilohertz sample rate. Okay, well anyways, it'll turn green or different colors to let you know the sample rate, which is cool. And if you turn this off, you can still see song to song what sample rate is playing. You can turn this light off though to save battery if you want. Same with the one on the back. Battery life, 4,500 milliamp battery. Takes 2 hours to charge according to the website. Cons. There is a really big playback issue where it will not play the last like couple seconds of the song. I don't know what that's about. So it's a small thing, but if you really enjoy the very ending of songs, or they rely on it, like they have a nice resolving final note or something, this will just like glitch out with the last 5 seconds and go to the next song. This really sucks if you're listening to an album that relies on gapless playback and has songs that like kind of flow from one song to the next. Like say Flume's mixtape album where it's meant to flow from song to song, or Skrillex's latest mixtape. There's lots of examples, even if they're not mixtapes, where the song is supposed to flow one into each other. Touchscreen is pretty good, looks good. You know, typing in passwords and stuff can be a little bit clunky. It's not as responsive as like a modern phone, but it's not bad. It's not like, you know, ordering at McDonald's touchscreen. It's not like that. Doesn't bother me one bit. It's big and bulky, so yes, it's portable, but like unless you've got cargo pants with like a huge pockets and a belt that's going to hold your pants and they're not going to fall off, it's not like portable like this. It's portable enough for me because all I want for like a portable thing like this for audiophile listening sessions is, you know, if I'm on a train, bus, that kind of thing, and it's more than good enough for that. Or like how I use it, because I don't go anywhere, is like, you know, getting comfy on the couch with the EQ and stuff like that. That way I don't have to like be in the studio with my audio interface and computer and sitting in an uncomfortable chair. They both have their purpose.